Hey, good morning, Tribe. Welcome to Tribe Daily. I know my family and I, we miss you guys, and we miss getting to see you, and we hope to see you again soon. But just wanted to stay and encourage you here this morning. And I know all the other tribe leaders have been doing this, so I thought I would do one for you this morning. So we're going to be talking about Paul, talking about the resurrection of Christ, and talking about where Paul puts himself in the big scheme of things and where he ranks himself. I know a lot of times we want to be the best, and we think we're the best, and we want people to think we're the best. But Paul says something completely different. Probably the most famous apostle in the Bible has ranked himself quite different than a lot of us would. So we're going to start off in 1 Corinthians 15, 9 through 11. We're going to start with verse 9 here. And Paul says, "For I am the least of the apostles, unworthy to be called an apostle, because I persecuted the church of God. But by the grace of God, I am what I am, and his grace towards me was not in vain. On the contrary, I worked harder than any of them. Though it was not I, but the grace of God that is with me, whether then it was I or they, so we preached, and so you believed." So he was obedient to God, even though he never felt worthy of the grace that God had shown him because of the bad things he had done. And so I know it says in verse 9, the end of verse 9, it says, "I persecuted the church of God." So I know there's things we've done in our lives where we could say we're not worthy because of X, whatever that is. And God pursues us anyway. And he came anyway into Paul's life. And one of my favorite parts of the road to Damascus when he became a Christian was when he was called. As bad as he was, and he killed Christians, and he persecuted the church. And Jesus knew that, but he came anyway. And that's what's so great about the grace of God. He pursues us anyway. And so Paul says here that he acted in faith, and because of the faith that he had, then he preached because he was obedient to God, and so he believed. So the question this morning, or so people believe. So the question this morning is, how is God calling you to act in faith and grace and obedience during this time? And I think all things work together for good. And one thing that I have told my family and my children, my wife, is that we are going to trust God, that he has a plan for all of this for us. And that we know that, then we can trust that no matter what happens, it's for our good. And that's why Paul was able to say, in spite of the fact that he felt he wasn't worthy of the grace that God had shown him, that he was still obedient to God. I pray that during all this time, you guys are obedient, and we hope to see you again soon.